For me, the nurturer's meat is often a nourishment for my soul. And for good reason, because I've often maintained that every student who comes into my life or every client that I work with is not a chance, and it's not random, and it's not an accident at all. It's honoring a commitment perhaps that I have made with the soul of the person in a different time and in a different place and a different zone. So this year we marks almost 2 decades of my work in Dubai. I first came in Dubai in 2005, and we are now in 2025. And it's been a very long journey, and it's been a very fulfilling journey. So first and foremost, for everybody online and for everybody in this class to be able to brave the Dubai traffic and come in at this time is it's a tribute to our association, to my respect for you and your love for me. So I'm honored. It's not easy on a working day to take time out and come. But if you've done that, it obviously means two things. It means that the work that has happened through me and through Ekaa has either touched your life in some deep way and maybe continues to do so. And for me, each face that I see here is a reminder that I dealt with one more file in the right way. So it's a two-way process, and thank you for that. So 2 decades being in this journey, it's very interesting. It's interesting because I know many of you are people that, come into the classes and the overhang of the Ekaa curriculum is on your head. You're in a kind of mystical, magical, energetic zone. So the connections are very strong. But what surprises me today is I'm seeing people here sitting, perhaps coming back after decades. I have somebody sitting in the audience who I think I connected in 2008. And yeah, most of the faces I see are from different years of my journey, almost as if through each one of you, time is sitting as a witness on this side and evaluating, Yuvraj, how have you moved? So each one of you is a face in time. And it's a face in time for me as a reminder to my plan. So having said this, I want to speak on something which perhaps is at the very core of this work. You're all from different backgrounds of life. Before Ekaa came into your life, or not just Ekaa, any healing modality, because maybe a few of you went into other modalities before. Then you came into Ekaa. You came into Ekaa and you went into other modalities. You had a life, and you lived your life just as I did mine, governed by the basic tenets that govern all human life on earth, which is our socio-economic, education, religion, benchmarks of success, where we should go, what we should do. And we were all doing that because we are all educated. We are all born with some ambition in mind. We all want to achieve something, and life goes on. And then at a certain junction, an awakening happens through something. Something wakes up inside of you. Most of the time it's pain. And it's pain that you don't understand. It's pain that it's not like getting burnt by a candle and figuring out why in God's name am I getting burnt. It's a different kind of pain that you don't or cannot make sense out of. And then there is an inner knowing. So from the perspective of the mind, this knowing of this journey is what wakes up. And it wakes up through pain. It's like a self-appointed reminder. So if I were to even get each one of you to look back at your own journeys, when any kind of healing first appeared in your world, not necessarily hypnotherapy, any kind of healing. And if you go just maybe a few weeks before that, I'm almost convinced that you would be battling deep pain in some way or the other, something that didn't make sense to you. And you were desperate to find some kind of answer or some kind of resolution. So this flame of coming into this path comes from the knowingness of the subconscious mind. Almost like in the metaphysical realm, we probably know that our conscious mind is very prone to seduction. And once we go down on earth, we will get stuck. We'll get really engaged in everything that engages people. And we will need a reminder. We will need a reminder about this journey. And that reminder cannot be pleasure, because like we know, when we are in pleasure, we're in a very chill state. We won't move the track. Because if you have a system that works for you and gives you pleasure, why would you ever move from there? No chance. So, given the way the human mind works, that first moment is probably a self appointed reminder to come on a journey. And you came on that journey. Now, after that, everything else that you do is a part and parcel of your conscious mind actions. So, I want you all to understand this first. The coming onto the journey is a subconscious trigger. The decisions that you take after you come, like some of you quit and make this a profession, some of you do this part time, some of you speak well about it but continue to do what you are doing. But those are all byproducts of your conscious actions. This is what you want to do with this trigger. And the path starts. Now, very often, since our conscious mind is very destination driven, we never do things consciously just because they have to be done. Our conscious mind is always fixated on a result. And in our line of work, this is the biggest risk that we run. So this time today is for every student of mine and is for every colleague of mine, because in Ekaa, we are all travelers. I may be your teacher in this lifetime, and maybe in a different lifetime, you may have been a teacher of mine. And this is a bond, it's a spiritual bond. And it's a journey of a train where people with whom I have soul contracts will come into my train. Some of them will stay till a certain station. Some of them may stay till the end. I don't know how long your ticket is. But the train journey is the same. And it's a pilgrimage. How many of you here have actually done a pilgrimage? Any kind of pilgrimage. What is the hallmark of a pilgrimage? Anybody? So, how do you define a pilgrimage? How is it different from a holiday? There is an inner goal, washing of sins, reflection. There's something in a pilgrimage that's driven by an inner fire. And pilgrimages are never easy. Okay? It doesn't matter which culture, it doesn't matter which faith. In every faith, pilgrimages are arduous. They demand from you. And pilgrimages do not distinguish between economic strata. Pilgrimages or pilgrims, you may be poor, you may be affluent, you may be hand to mouth, or you may be a billionaire. For the pilgrim, the route is the same. Now, if this is a pilgrimage of your soul, check with yourself on this journey. Have you been able to keep that space in the energy of a pilgrim? Ask yourself this question. And this is especially true for many of my students who leave careers, because careers have many other aspects to it. And then they come into this work, thinking it to be another career. But this is not a career, it's a pilgrimage. And today when I was sitting here in the evening, we just come from Abu Dhabi, we've opened a center there. On this trip, I've been looking at spaces in Dubai. And from where I came in 2005, when healing was an unknown commodity. And today this land, not just in Dubai, but in so many areas of the world, healing has become a fashion. Not that there's anything wrong with a good space, but this journey is not about the candles. And this journey is not about the crystals, though we use them. You know, I've been seeing a few places, yeah. Very nice places, awesome places. They bamboozle your mind, but this is a pilgrimage. And so, as my students or my colleagues, for those of you who are intending to continue on this pilgrimage, Keep asking yourself that one question. Remind yourself constantly of what was my state of mind when I came into this work, because that is where the purest form of your contract lies. Remember this, okay? Don't forget this till your grave. Ekaa is not relevant here, but what is relevant is your journey, because everybody's journey is different, but the rules of the pilgrimage are not different. That doesn't change. So no matter where you go and no matter what you do, periodically keep checking, am I aligned in exactly the same way as I was when I first got exposed to this? And be honest to yourself. If you are, what will change for you? So if pain is a self-appointed trigger, that is a reminder of a knowingness to bring you on this journey, then that pain is destined. It's meant to do exactly what it did. Now remember that once you are on plan, technically there should be no pain. So try and understand slowly, because a lot of you have been into therapy for a while or train or do stuff. So after that first bout of pain and the first aha moment, if you got the coding of the life plan correct, it should technically mean what? No pain. Fantastic. Great. Which means that every single exposure to pain that you got after that is a deviation. It is either a willful or an ignorant or a vain decision that has brought pain to you. Because serving the divine can never be painful and shouldn't be painful. I want you to use this half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour. Understand what I'm trying to say. And when you go back home and you get some time to reflect, sit with yourself very peacefully. Identify the starting point from where you began. And after that, check every other major painful moment of your life. What could you have done differently from pain number 2? And that would probably give you the simplest route to what your life plan is meant to be. Absolutely the simplest route. Because the issue with the world and the issue with earth is we also have the power to co-create, which means what God wants, God will get. However, resources are available only on the route. Resources are not available on deviations. You get it? So if you have a ticket, a train ticket or a plane ticket from destination A to B, on that ticket, you've got your meal booked, you've got everything done correct. But if you change your flight in the middle, no meal booked, seat is not fixed, all this is pain. What that will help you to do is make course corrections, bring your life back on track. You did not come into this science to be an eternal client. There are better ways of making money. All right? So map your journey and realize that the purpose is the walk itself. So it's not that when you walk the path, you will not feel challenges. Challenges come. It's part of the job. What converts the challenge into pain is your deviation, which means in your journey, whenever you feel challenges, the only thing that you have to ask yourself is, what should I be doing now so that this pain is not there? It's as simple as that. Because pain is directly proportional to the quantum of ego. The bigger the ego, the bigger the pain. The lesser the ego, the lesser the pain. So if you tie all these things together, then you will honor the pilgrimage. And that is my singular request to everybody who's sitting here today. Because I've benchmarked, Ekaa has benchmarked several movements in different countries. And more or less, the journey has been very rewarding. But the more you start to move, and now the way the world is going, and healing has become far more commonplace than what it ever was before. Ever. I don't think the world in our lifetime has seen an era of awareness of healing the way we are now seeing it. Almost every Tom, Dick, and Harry talks about it. It's almost like how the software industry was in the late 1980s, early 1990s. Healing is literally on the cusp of that kind of wave. And thus, this whole gathering is for me to just remind you once again, don't get caught in the fluff. Because as we move ahead and as the world starts to spin faster and faster, the challenges facing humanity will not reduce, they will increase. If you stay on the path, if you stay on the pilgrimage, pilgrimages are not easy, we understand that, but resources are always there. That's the best part of the pilgrimage. That when a pilgrim walks to a pilgrimage, the organizer or the conductor of the pilgrimage ensures that at periodic junctions, whatever resources you need to move to the next point or the next stop of the journey is always resourced with service in your head. Because as I said, it is a journey to serve. This is a contract between you and your soul. Keep it simple. I know the more people think about this, let's do this, let's do this, let's have this, let's have this, let's have this, all that will mean nothing eventually if your inner line is not straightforward. Because just like I see centers opening, I see centers closing. And there's big money that goes into it, and there's the big money that comes out of it. It has nothing to do with resources. Many of you are therapists, and you've seen that when you connect to people, you can have a simple room and yet do therapy that's worth $1 million. And otherwise, you can have an absolutely fancy space and yet nobody heals. So remind yourself about that. Keep the awareness in mind and keep checking with your own self. Reflect, this is going to be needed now because the trappings of the conscious mind will increase as we go ahead. We were here last week, I think in this very room, and we had about 150 delegates here, plenty of corporate presence, and serious policy discussions on how government rules are now looking at healing differently. And in fact, I think about a month back, Abu Dhabi's taken the lead in actually bringing in formal regulation for the term alternate healing and complementary healing. It's a new buzzword. So when something reaches the level of a government where they are now starting to introduce benchmarks and protocols, you know this is serious business. It's not fun and games anymore. And once it gets to that is when the risk actually starts. Because now you have to map your instinctive, intuitive flow with the cognitive conscious demands of what governments and sciences will ask of you. If you keep the inner track clear, the story should be straightforward and simple. On a different note, we've started a center in Abu Dhabi about a month back. In fact, I was there. This was my first visit to the center. I will be doing a level 5 there from day after tomorrow. And I'm looking out for a center in Dubai as well. And my intention again for Dubai, for myself and for Ekaa and for the work that Ekaa is doing, is to have a space where I can keep it simple. Simple and straightforward. People come, people heal, and it's a journey. The day I set it up, I will obviously announce this to the people, and it is your center. So even Abu Dhabi is being run by all the Abu Dhabi trainers together. So we have a cooperative. The center doesn't belong to me. I'm one part of it. It's actually run and completely owned by all the trainers who are doing it. I've just stood there as a support to them, and they're working together as a team. And I'm going to try and bring that into Dubai next, because obviously when you set up a center, it takes some protocol that you have to set up. And that's gone well, and they're all in their flow. And when I come here next year, hopefully the space where I'm supposed to be will call me. And that's my thought. A simple space, clean lines, clean work, and a constant reminder to what the journey is all about. Any questions?
Yeah, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So, sir, if I look at how I got into this work, it was a very clear feeling of purpose when I got in. And then once I got in, at one point there was that pain was there, and purpose was also there. Last 1 or 2 years, that pain has not been there much really. It's almost, and the dramas at a family level, at a personal level, professional level are clearing. But that feeling of purpose is also kind of that magical feeling of purpose that used to be there is not there so much anymore.
Correct.
To the point where, if I have to be completely honest,
Yes.
I would say that some days I feel कि यार अगर मैं किराना की दुकान चलाता होता और मैं ये प्रोफेशन में हूँ, कभी कभी लगता है मुझे सेम लेवल ऑफ सेटिस्फैक्शन मिलता है. So it feels as if a life that was strongly driven by purpose has transitioned in some way to a slightly boring life of flow. And I am looking for the magic, which is probably a life of pleasure. So my only question is, what's the best thing I can do at this point to...
So essentially, like I said, success, fame, money, career, and glory are conscious mind objectives. To the subconscious mind, none of this matters at all. The subconscious mind couldn't care two hoots whether you flew first class and did a session for an emir, or you walked half a mile and did a session for somebody who's struggling with cancer in a grade 3 hospital. To your subconscious mind, it makes absolutely no difference. For your subconscious mind, there is a contract and you're walking the contract. So all these ups and downs, joys and sorrows, failure and success are plays of the ego, of the conscious mind, which is fine, which is the journey, and which is what I wanted to address in the crowd to begin with today. Because it all starts from a subconscious impulse, comes to conscious awareness, then our conscious awareness formats this into the success formula that we recognize consciously. But success formulas consciously will always change with time. We know that. There is no one success formula that has stood the test of time consciously. So different models keep evolving. So if you are going to peg your movement with the benchmarks of the conscious mind paradigms of fulfillment and success and joy and money, then at some junction the juice will run out. That is a given.
So then what should be the alternative?
The question is, go back to where you started from and check what was your state at that moment. Go back to that moment and what was your state there, and what did you experience when you first came into something like this? That's the state.
It was a feeling of joy and expansiveness.
So, can you anchor yourself there? That's the question.
But right now,
Yes.
so then what you're saying is that the joy and expansiveness, wherever it takes it, is where the path is meant to go.
Absolutely.
Not the career as a healer.
Absolutely. The key is the joy and the expansiveness. Destinations may change. How many people, Kshitij, have come into Ekaa, used it as a basic platform to get the basics of healing and life clear, and then they take their own directions. They don't stay with Ekaa. But if they are true to the pilgrimage, that sense of service is there. Get it? That's the difference here.
Yeah, to this day, I feel that maybe I will be able to best serve by being maybe in politics, maybe somewhere else.
Absolutely. 100%. So, what does Ekaa do? It draws people from different walks of life. It inculcates an inner opening and it lets them go back. You don't have to be married to us. Not at all. But there is a switch that we have to do, a flip, a trigger, a tuning. And it's that tuning that still brings me people almost every year of my teaching from 2008, 9 till 2025. I have students here. Talal, when did we meet? 2017, 15, 13, 2013. I'm meeting Talal after what, 10, 12 years sitting here. Meena Dhanani and I go back even further. She's 2007. So what is it? These people have not married Ekaa. But there is a switch. And that is the job that I have to do. Get it?
Okay.
So it's tuning back into that switch which is important. Because that's where the core of your life is.
Got
The walk of the pilgrim is there. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Yuvraj.
Hi.
Hi, this is Gonika Yuvraj. Nice to see you after long.
Good evening, and the pleasure is mutual.
Yuvraj, I have this personal question.
Yes.
On this 27th September, I got a heart attack.
How?
And yeah, I got 2 stents in my heart. And before that, what was happening with me is I left the job and then again I've joined it. My heart was telling it this is not the path I should stay, but the amount I'm getting, I was getting kind of greedy. So I was not listening what is happening inside me. So I've resigned. I've taken back, and I got a heart attack. And I literally don't know what to say now. But even one more thing I've learned, Yuvraj, while I was in this journey, I was in ICU and there was a girl who was in just front of me. She was 12 years old, a young girl. And she was dying in front of me, and I wanted to give her some kind of healing, as a healer comes out of you. But you will not believe that was a shocker of my life. The time I said, "Now I'll go and I'll give her healing," she died in front of me. And universe gave me a message: you can't interfere. Just
Absolutely.
simply cannot interfere.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, classical example, life. We don't heal people unless they ask for it. The only people we can heal without permission is ourselves, which we are doing. Okay, that's a given. Having said that, the other thing, don't glamorize pain. Each one of us has a narrative. We all have a narrative. If I give this mic, each one of you will have probably a soul moving story. And at the epicenter of that story will be pain. Don't glamorize it. I've seen so many speakers who speak of their painful journey. I've done that before as well. We see the value of pain because it brings us on track. That is correct. But pain by itself is an intentionally personal space that you have with your creator. When you're happy, when you're having fun, how many of you are able to contain it within yourself? Almost nobody. Very few. 99% of us want to share it. Your joy, your achievements, your happiness. Yeah. It's not that you're not connected to the creator at that moment, but your consciousness is engaging through your five senses with the world. I did this, I achieved this, I was spectacular, I survived this. When you are in deep pain, where are you? You're inside of you. You're inside of you.
Right of
You're inside of you. And when you are inside of you, who are you in touch with? You're in touch with your soul. Now, pain is an intensely spiritual and personal process. Understand what I'm saying? All right? So, when you get a client who comes to you with pain, these are reminders of the basics of what we teach you. That's why as I said, it was a good review 20 years in Dubai. When I look back, maybe just a moment to bring people back on track mentally. When a person is coming to you in deep pain, understand that in that moment there is already a witness, which is the soul of that person that is now going to watch what you are going to do. Okay? And which is why, at a certain level, if you work in therapy with simplicity and honesty, it is the most spiritually rewarding experience you have. And for those of you, how many of you in a session have actually experienced that? That when you do a session, some sessions, not always, it doesn't happen always. But in some sessions, something inside of you is touched so deeply that you almost want to cry. It's humbling. Every other therapy is jazz. Every other therapy is fluff. Every other session that you do where you don't experience that is when you're off the game. Use this half an hour of mine or 45 minutes of mine. Review your strategy of life. Review it. Do meaningful work. Doing 10 sessions a day, in which in 8 sessions you're telling yourself, I'm exhausted, I'm tired of doing sessions. Do one session, get touched. Money will come either ways. It can't go away. What's yours will come to you. So learn to separate your conscious mind objectives from your pilgrimage. Humans who are not into this as a profession don't have this problem. We do. We do. So for us, there is this almost incessant, because it's so simple before you know it. And this doesn't mean that you heard Kshitij's question. He's very popular and very busy. He doesn't enjoy it anymore. So it's the first person who came with a question here. Okay. He's almost a healing unicorn if you talk of online classes and all those kind of things. He's benchmarked multiple things in India online. He's not having fun anymore. Why? Because that magic is not there anymore. So keep track of the quality of work that you do. Serve humanity. Rewards will come. They're meant to come. Don't worry about it. Don't get stuck in the loop. Yes, Atya.
So, sir, this is the answer for my question.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Don't stuck in the loop.
Absolutely.
Just come out of the loop
Come out of the loop. What did you
and
just
trust your
do?
inner guidance.
What did you just do? You glamorized your pain.
Have I? I wanted to know why I got it.
Gonika,
I
what would you
wanted to
do?
ask someone.
Correct. You would have messaged me and said, Sir, can we talk one to one? I need to figure out something.
I messaged you, and even I checked if I can
When did
talk
that message
separately.
come? Half an hour back?
I think starting of the session, yes.
But obviously, starting of the session, I can't answer that
I
because
don't
I'm
have.
here.
I don't want to. I really don't want to
No,
glamorize. I don't even tell
no.
anyone. But you are
Gonika,
my guide.
yeah,
So
so
yeah,
hold
I
on.
wanted to know.
So the answer to that, because that answer is just for you. Now, at the moment, we have 100 people online. I have another 150, 70 people here. That answer is not for them.
Sorry, sir.
Get it?
Yeah, so I'm sir. Yes, I got it.
Because the answer
But
that I
no
will
biggie.
give you and what I will ask you to implement is only for you. But if I have other people here who will follow that model and apply it to themselves, it won't work for them. It's not their answer.
Right.
That's your answer.
No, never be
Are
their
you
answers.
are
Right.
you getting it? Let me finish. I will answer the question.
No problem, sir. Anytime. Thank you.
All right. Yes. Yes, Satya.
So I feel torn. So when I do a session, I feel really good as soon as I start. And I remember I told you that I'm very peaceful and very focused. And as I said, I feel like it's something in my chakra. I feel I'm eating too. It's humble and it's beautiful and the shape. But as soon as I finish, just the thought that I need to make it a business. So I'm doing all this Instagram, TikTok, whatever, I'm trying. And it's suffocating to me. And I feel torn between this. The healing itself as our journey, for me and for others, beautiful. It opens my heart, which is something I haven't felt before. No love did that for me. Okay, unless it's, family or someone close. And then there's this, and I don't know where it comes from. You're yearning to just move,
Yes.
travel,
Yes.
and but it also feels I just want to travel.
So, do one meaningful session and travel. Simple. Okay, ask for resources. You have assumed that because you do therapy and therapy might pay you money, you need to do 20 therapies to travel. No.
It's more of when you talked about the first moment
Yes.
that I plummeted, so I came here.
Correct.
I resisted so much for years until I gave up, and this is very important. I said, well, I don't think I'll heal, but I can heal others, and I was very frank about it.
Okay.
So if I healed or not, that's something. But I
Okay.
can heal others.
Okay.
So that's my start with hypnotherapy.
Correct. And if your clients are at peace,
They did.
you are experiencing great satisfaction when you do that work, then continue to do it. What's the problem?
It's not working as a business. They come, but not much. When I start making it a business, it's not happening.
Exactly the point.
So I don't know.
So do you see, this
I'm
is,
here.
this is,
I'll tell you something. Like when I finished hypnotherapy, one of the teachers, we were talking about something you said, and you said, "Well, I never did any promotion for myself," and we were talking about that. That if they are meant for us, they come. And this teacher, Christian sign, said, "Well, there's a lot of people in Ekaa who does for Mr. Yuvraj, who put videos, which is true." And I'm now torn. Should I go through the spiritual feeling, or should I go through the materialistic life that I live in?
so to
I
answer,
think a lot
so,
of us
so
go
to
through
answer that question, Imtihal,
Yeah.
today Ekaa has approximately 80 trainers. Ekaa uses Yuvraj Kapadia for the 80 trainers. Ekaa doesn't use Yuvraj Kapadia for himself. That's the difference here. So, never in my journey have I ever required to do anything where I would need to go and sell myself. I've never done it. And I don't need to. And it was like this 20 years back. And it was like this when I came to Dubai and nobody knew me. So, the bottom line is whatever this profession is meant to give you in terms of money, it will. It will. For sure, it will. It has nothing to do with how many clients you do. But if this is not contractually bound to run your house, it won't. Because money is also very karmic. So I know enough people, for example, whose jobs still pay the salaries that they need to run their homes. And yet they are awesome therapists. Awesome therapists. They may do one session in a week, but it's a mind-blowing session. Because internally they realize that they have a karma with a particular industry and that industry is meant to pay their bill. And that's fine. And it doesn't make them children of a lesser God just because they are continuing in a corporate career. Not at all. Absolutely. So, there are three things at Tihal: purpose, passion, and profession. When I speak of the pilgrim, it's the purpose. You cannot ever be passionate about a pilgrimage. No. No way. Nobody is super excited to go to the Mecca. No. And if you have to walk 40 kilometers in the pilgrimage, you can't be passionate about it. But it's a purpose. You can have passion in a different direction, and the profession can be completely different. And there is a profession always for everybody. Because if you've come on this planet, God has a plan to feed you. There you go. Life is not so difficult. You're my student. Yes, Pooja.
Um, so the first thing is when you said about pilgrimage, the moment my ears were like, that's the reason I kept on seeing Lakshmi.
Correct.
So it was like Nandini kept on coming. And the day the entire tasso finished, the last day of my tasso, I remember one of the girls had a session, and in that, she was venting out in a laughing catharsis. And I realized you can actually laugh at catharsis. And it was a fantastic last day. But I had the contrary because, of course, I was like crying because of I couldn't clear in the first go. I was crying, and on the contrary, the session was happening in the class was like opposite. The catharsis was happening in laughing, and that was the last day of the class. I stepped out and I decided, okay, that's it. This is the last day I cry. That's it, and I go, and the word was like only I'll have fun. That's it. Fun is the thing. Now, the moment I came on, this is exactly the feeling I got. How you go to the temple, you actually go there, pray, you leave all your worries, this, and you expect when you walk out, now you're lighter through all the baggages and all. And that's when I came back. I just felt like that's it. Crying is over. Crying is over. Only thing, and fun. And now I'm looking for different kind of fun to have fun, fun, fun. So
Absolutely.
this is how the twist happened, and I feel it's a complete change personality that I see.
Yeah.
Now, only thing is purpose when you say. So when we entered, when we came there, of course, we were going through so much. We were a seeker towards purpose. Like I came like a seeker. I thought this is, as you said, I thought this is the thing, and this is I want to do and everything. When I came after the tasso, the transition that I had first, I thought I struggled for clients because I thought it's profession and I've left my job. I have to earn. Like money wise, I was thinking. Then slowly the twist happened. This is not, as you said, this is not a career. I'm running behind money.
Correct.
It was a
That's it.
struggle, hard learn, but after like 6-8 months.
Because the moment, I'm not saying it cannot be your profession,
Yeah,
but if you make that as a conscious choice, because you see it as the next opportunity to make big money, is where you'll get into trouble. I'm not saying you can't make it.
you can, but
You can.
But don't go behind money. My idea is you do
But
your job, and it's
yeah,
this
absolutely. Yeah. That's the key here.
That-
So all the pain points come when you start to map. Money is very important. Of course, it's as important as food, as everything else. But as I said, this is a pilgrimage. So if you keep that in your head constantly and take all your other decisions in life, you'll be fine.
completely can relate.
Remind yourself of this. The answer is there. Answer is always there.
And only when I could crack this, it's like as if like the dust is now out. Now I can clearly feel what is the purpose. I can see like, okay, this was it, why I was meant to go through all this.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
And just like the entry into Ekaa or its curriculum is meant to open a certain understanding of life for you, that understanding will also tell you that there is a route in this world in which it's very easy for you to make money. Because everybody has the right to live well. You come with that blessing, you have the right to live well. But you've got to allow that thing to open up. What is that area from where money will come easy? It's there. It's always there. Life is easy. Breathing is easy. Living is easy. Money is easy.
Yes.
It's not difficult.
That's when I like cracked it. Like, okay, this is it. So,
Absolutely.
it was tough, hard journey. It was struggling. I was like, this is it. Of course, I'm committed towards my therapy and everything, but still, there is more to it. And one last question about the pain that you said don't glamorize.
Yes.
Yes, I understood, but I wanted to understand from our point of view when we talk to the clients or whoever come to us. So yes, there are chances where because I believe like what we have gone through and we have come out of the pain, we are sent those similar kinds of people with similar pain somewhere, and only then because we have released the pain and worked through it, we are able to heal them faster. Like that we are able to work on them faster and with better understanding.
What I was trying to probably explain here is that modalities that we use when I talk of glamorizing something is like a technique. A technique is monetizable. Okay? But pain has to be treated with a certain sanctity because that's the moment in which the person actually is in touch with perhaps the deepest part of their soul awareness. What do? We find a technique. That's what I call by glamorizing it. Then we patent the technique. Then we say, oh, if this is your issue, you do this and this will disappear. But the journey of healing is not about the technique.
Yeah, it may not be.
It's about how do you assist the client in using that moment of pain to touch base with their deepest truth. That is the healing. It's not the technique. And that needs understanding and that needs sensitivity. And that's what healing is about. You can create protocols and more protocols and more protocols. Got it?
Yeah, but this intention can be clear, right? Like, I want to have because I've
Yeah, so
thought of it,
maybe I wanted to clarify that. This is what I mean by glamorizing it. Yes, Talal. Firstly, it's a pleasure to see you after so many years.
Yes, good to see you too. It's been a while. You now talked about the subject that I feel is important for us. So I'm sure you can relate, many of you can relate. After a few years, techniques don't work. But the way you
Correct.
relate
Correct.
to the pain, to the problem,
Exactly.
and you learn to relate to it better, you heal. And the better way you relate to it, you relate better to life. My question now is, we are now figuring things on our own
Yes.
because techniques have conditioned a certain behavior.
Correct.
Then you realize sometimes you should not use the technique. So my question now is, what guidance would you offer us? Because I know what you're going to answer me now is not a theory or something you memorize. It can only come from experience. To deal with what we're dealing with right now. Because, and actually my part of this question is another part. How do you deal with it?
Yeah. It's actually been a while since I applied a technique.
Exactly, me too. We were just discussing that I stopped doing hypnotherapy or any technique in a session.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is the
Okay. So the first rule of pain is feel it fully. Don't fear it and don't run from it and don't abort it. Don't miscarry it. Birth it. If you learn to birth your pain, you will experience the ecstasy of life. How do you do that? Feel it as intensely as you can. Feel, and this is not a technique, this is just pure experience. The biggest trouble with pain to our conscious mind is fear, because what pain invariably brings about in us is a fear, what if? So when you're in pain, then all the monkeys of the fear start from there. If you're a more cerebral person, keep answering that question intellectually till the end. I have this pain. If I don't sort it, what will happen? This will happen. If that happens, what will happen? This will happen. Eventually, in about 5 minutes of self talk, you'll come to a zero. You will. It's a given because your intellect will run out of possibilities. The moment that happens, by default, the pain starts to reduce. So instead of using a technique to sabotage it or short circuit it, live it out internally and intellectually process it till the zenth time. And believe it or not, it won't take you more than 5 minutes. Now, once that's done, it's almost like saying, what's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen? And you realize after 5 minutes that nothing can be worse than where you are right now. This is the funny part about it. Okay? Nothing can be worse than where you are right now. So the moment that understanding comes almost by reflex, your body lets the pain go. Now, the real work starts after that. So once that is gone, now you have to wear your thinking cap. And this is where you start figuring out, why did you allow yourself to go through this? What could you have done differently to not come here? Is there a missing learning for you? And how will you bring it into your life? Because at the end, pain is only teaching you something. But you can't learn it till you feel the pain. So you have to first feel it fully and don't leave a window open for it to come back. So one objective is go through what is the worst that can be. The second, which I have also personally used quite a lot, is called the truth sentence. Again in self-talk. So there is pain, and then I will just go one layer deeper and say the truth is. You do this alone, yeah? You can't do this with people. And that's why I don't teach this in therapy. Because you will never be able to do this in therapy with somebody else. But if you're by yourself, if you keep questioning yourself, saying the truth is, the truth is, the truth is, you'll be shocked. In 5 minutes, you'll hit that one spot after which the pain will go. Because all your pain is fabricated on lies. All your pain is fabricated on lies. So if you keep pushing yourself and have the security of doing it in a space where you're alone, so that you're not scared of judgment and labeling and all that. And just be as brutally honest as you can with the truth. And in 5 minutes, Talal, once you hit that line, suddenly the pain is gone. Sure.
So, a lot of times the pain will take long. In some cases, especially if there's trauma that's been prolonged, and it may not go away in 5 minutes. So we have to feel it. It could take hours. But the idea that, you know what, this is something I have to feel, this is not the truth, all that stuff. I mean, part of this learning is you can only learn it if you feel the pain.
Yeah.
That's the workout.
Totally.
Yeah. Another part of it would be to keep an idea in the back of your head as you feel the pain. So I'm getting from here is one of them saying, you know, this is not true. As you're feeling the realness of the end of your life.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Absolutely.
But if the pain is coming from circumstances which are out of your control, which you can't control, then how do you...
The truth is, I can't control it. So the truth is, if something happens and somebody dies, I can't control it. And the truth is that if that person disappears, I'll be lonely and I can't control it. The truth is, now what?
But sir,
That particular brings a lot of emotions with it.
But that's exactly the point. That's exactly the point. Because the emotions that come is the narrative that the mind has used to fill up your void. That's where those emotions are coming from. What is healing? Becoming complete once again. Why did you need to heal? Because you lost parts of yourself. So you filled those parts with emotions. Technically, if you are complete, nothing can hurt you. It's straightforward. So when we are doing therapy, what are we doing? We are giving your mind rational excuses to rationalize and justify and so let go. But it's all based on one premise. And that premise is you've lost yourself and everything else is fabricated. Because if you're complete, who can hurt you? Nobody. If God be for you, who can be against you? Nobody. The truth is, I know it's difficult, but the question also comes from Talal, who's done loads of work and loads of techniques, and you name it, and he's probably done it, okay? So, like he said, after a while, have you ever thought why every 2-3 years a new age, new modality comes into fashion? Have you ever thought about it? So we started with Reiki, then Reiki was the flavor of the world. Then after a couple of years, pranic healing became the flavor of the world. Then after pranic healing became the flavor of the world, we had hypnotherapy that came. Then theta healing came. Then access bars came. Have you ever thought why? Why every couple of years do we need a new model? Is it because the old model has got not working or the new model is upgraded? It's none of those things. It's basically the fact that after a while, what you have to realize is it's not the technique. It's that inner space that you have to crack. The real healing is there.
what about physical
Or
pain?
maybe seeking, like we are seeking for something so that we keep on.
You know, I've not changed my phone since 1996. My number is the same. So the first time mobile phones came into India and the number I had then is the number I have now. Every single student of mine or every single client I've worked with is probably on my WhatsApp, unless they have changed their number. And even to date, I don't do any sessions on the phone. But if I listen to somebody and I explain one or two, three things, they're able to work with it on their own. A lot of people sitting here were in that category. I'm not doing a technique, but I'm simply getting them to understand what healing is and how does it work. Because it's eventually a communion with you and you. It's you and God. It's your separation from the source that is pain. If you were in oneness with yourself, you'd be in no pain. So all pain is separation. Bring yourself into oneness, yoga, union. The moment you are one with yourself, there is no pain. Yeah, you see that breath you just took just now. That breath you just took just now, 1 second back. The truth is, that's how that breath changed. So, as I've taught you in class, any emotion that you cannot handle by yourself, 99% doesn't belong to the adult you. Any emotion that you cannot handle by yourself peacefully doesn't belong to the adult you. I've explained this in almost every class. That's how we distinguish between authentic and inauthentic emotions. Authentic emotions are emotions that you can handle like this. So the moment you have an emotion you cannot handle, rest assured it doesn't belong to the adult you.
Like the emotion of losing a very loved one. So
Yes.
it's not something, which is,
So, Nida, quick question. No matter what you do, can you prevent that?
still the
Good,
pain is
good.
there.
1 second. So then, if the truth is that people have to die, and the truth is that you are attached to people, and the truth is that the consequence of that death will be pain, then the truth is what?
I feel that it's a journey. It's a cycle that you have to go through it, or like all the emotions. Like we know that you have like all the emotions.
Correct.
So going through that life cycle of emotions, if I can say, it takes a lot of courage as a healer.
So, hold on. So that means the truth is, I've lost my courage. That's the truth.
I've lost my
Courage.
So, when you are saying that it takes a lot of courage to go through this, you're just telling me that the truth is, I don't have that courage, which is why it's painful. Because your logical common sense will tell you death is inevitable. You cannot fight it. And that doesn't mean you should be detached all the time. It doesn't mean you shouldn't love. So, life is about loving and knowing that the person will go and there will be pain, and then it needs courage to live through it. That's what you don't have. So if you don't have that, that's what you've lost. Then that's the truth. And whatever else you say has replaced it. So what would you need to do? Just get your courage back. Because if that courage, again the breath changes.
It takes a lot of energy to, accept.
Yeah, true. So wherever it is that courage has gone is what you need to bring back. It's probably gone in childhood somewhere or whatever. But the moment you get that courage back, this will not be an issue anymore. We haven't done any inner child work. We haven't done any past life regression. Because the truth is. Okay? Yes. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm alive and good.
So I have a question. I'm doing a lot of Vedanta study, and
Yes.
it validates the hypnotherapy.
Yes,
so
it
it's like
does.
theory and practical both.
Correct.
I have experienced myself, so whatever I've experienced in my hypnotherapy, it validates what's written in our doctrines and all. But now my question is, because now I want to practice it, and I get to inner call that where it should go and all, the session basically. But how to be a good therapist?
Hello.
Because we are new, we recently completed our classes.
Can I tell you something? When I started doing hypnotherapy, I knew very few techniques. And yet, the people with whom I worked at that time became my most famous cases in my life. Those were the cases that got covered on television. Those were cases that had books written on them. None of those cases had any spectacular therapy that I learned over the last 10, 12, 15 years. I knew ABC, but in the ABC, I was honest with ABC, And in the honesty of ABC, I got the best results that ABC could give. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. You need to be honest. Because at every moment, the amount of knowledge in the universe is a zillion times more than what you can ever harness. And when I say you, I mean me. There's way out there that's way beyond your wildest thoughts. Can you tap into all of it? You can't. You're a limited container. If you understand that therapy is a pilgrimage for you in which you hold a space safely for a pilgrim to meet his God, that's all you have to do. You're like that Pandit in Kedarnath, nothing more and nothing less. When people come to the shrine and they cry and they feel ecstasy, does the Pandit feel anything? No. He's just holding that space for that to happen. If you keep that space clear in your head, that's all you need to do. Respect the sanctity of that space. It's a pilgrimage. Don't need to make it fancy. Don't need to make it fluffy. It's easy.
So is it the energy of the therapist also affects, right?
It's the amount of work that you do on yourself.
On yourself, yes.
Correct.
The
That,
awareness.
absolutely. Just be aware.
Purpose would then go towards life purpose,
Yes.
contract and stuff. How do we find out our own life contract?
How do you find your own life? So I was just explaining that, maybe you came in late. I started this talk by explaining how, if you go back to the first moment of pain in which you started to think of going for therapy or come into healing, the mindset at that time is the closest indicator of what your life purpose would be at that time. After that, every other junction of pain will be a deviation. The first pain that you feel in life that brings you to the thought of therapy is where you have the closest access to the life plan. Get it?
No, but I get it.
Yeah. So, if you never encountered any pain till 28, all was good. Something happened, it became uncontrollable, and then you decided to go for therapy. The key of the life plan lies there.
Thank you, sir. I got
That's
it now.
that correct. That's the where the story is.
When you talk about pain, are you talking only physical pain or the issues also can be pain?
What brought you into healing?
Correct.
That's the trigger.
Correct.
Not in general pain. You could have had typhoid, you could have had a whole lot of other things. You could have failed in math in standard 10. Did you think of going for therapy? No.
So it can also
No.
be.
I want you to pick the first moment where you thought of therapy or learning healing. That's where the key is.
But can it also be like you entered with one issue that was your pain purpose to come to therapy? Now you reach the end. Now it is not pain or anything. It has not resolved, but it's there and you're okay with it. It's fine. You
No,
moved
the
with
question
that.
here, Giri's question was, how do I identify the purpose? The plan. The plan is there.
No, I got stuck into this pain
Ah,
thing.
yeah.
But sir, if sorry to interrupt, but one person has entered for a business purpose and the second person has entered for a healing purpose. But now the person who has entered for a business purpose is not like they have not done any work on themselves. Then
No.
how they will
No.
heal others?
This talk is for my students. It's not for people on the road. I didn't take this mic and do a general podcast. My Nurturers Meet is a very specific audience. This is only for students that have walked with Ekaa. And that's why my answers are very specific. I don't ever have a general formula for humanity. I'm nobody to do that. People have better ways of living their life than coming for therapy. No, I'm not sitting and doing a treatise here on life. But if you have come into my class, then this is what I have to say. This is for my students. Very clear. Get it? It's not for a businessman who lost 5 crores and did a therapy and got 100 crores back. Good luck. Yes, Tala.
Sorry, I'm asking a second question, but I think this is one for all of us. So, in my journey, when I started, healing, doing sessions, and all that stuff, there was an instant where, and I saw this with all my colleagues, graduates, a lot of people, the discomfort of asking for money.
Yes.
Okay, that started. And then I noticed it wasn't just a discomfort for money, it's a discomfort of not being a helper. So we couldn't say no, and we felt obligated to help. From there, I realized, okay, I need to embrace a shadow of a selfish person, an inconsiderate person, okay, which helped a lot. It helped me actually push away those who were gonna latch and suck and all that stuff, energy. Now, my question is, when you meet these people,
Which people? The one who are wanting to suck your energy?
yes, the ones who would come and they feel entitled and they feel you should
Yes.
help them.
Yeah.
And in some cases you can say no.
Yes.
In other cases you might be in a situation, in some cases family or whatever it is, where it's difficult. What's the lesson, at least from your experience?
The lesson is Talal, in life, never do anything that will take your sleep away. Never do anything that will take your sleep away. Whatever action you take in life, if you can sleep well, that's the answer. If you cannot sleep well, it's the wrong action for you. Now, if you can't say no to people and you're compelled to do a session and then you're feeling pathetic about it and not sleeping well, answer is no. Now, is saying no to a session being rude? Not at all. It's simply saying, this is beyond the scope of what I do. That's it. It's not going to make you a child of a lesser God. So the moment you feel that you're getting pushed into a space that you don't want to entertain, sometimes you cannot entertain and sometimes you don't wish to entertain. Both cases. Simply say, this is beyond my purview. If you go to a cardiovascular surgeon and ask him for help to read a Bitcoin chart, he may be a Nobel Prize winning surgeon, but it's beyond his purview. So you decide that. Correct. So when you say it feels off, means it's not feeling correct for you. That means you're not going to sleep well after that. Simple. If it doesn't feel correct, you're not going to sleep well. It's going to be a decision you're going to regret through the day. No. And not because I'm rude. I can't handle this. Wear the dunce's cap. I've had to do that in my career. So especially in a few cases where with clients, I've started to experience transference because you can do some great work and then the client feels that you're almost inseparable from their lives. And I remember a couple of really painful decisions that I took where I said I cannot continue working because I don't trust myself to work further. It's not about you. Happens. Yeah.
My question is, at times, when you're giving sessions,
Yeah.
as earlier you were asking, you tend to use multiple, within the session, but multiple things.
Sure.
Is it, and when I discuss with fellow colleagues, they tell me that it should not happen, it should be as per the curriculum and all that stuff. So, but for me, for example, it's so, when I speak to them, they tell me that you should finish the session by 45 minutes, 1 hour, don't drag it so much. And I'm like, I feel it that I have to hear it in this manner, and it just flows. What is the right way of handling such a situation?
So, every institution will teach you a craft. And when you are learning a craft, every craft is measured by a matrix. Art cannot be taught. Art flows. Craft doesn't flow. Craft is learned. That means when you are doing sessions so that an institute will certify you as a therapist, you need to show craftsmanship, not artistry. Artistry is when you're a professional. Then you flow. But when you want to show a teacher, let's say you're becoming a doctor, right? You're learning surgery. So you're being evaluated in a surgery exam where your teacher is going to watch how precise a certain incision in the body is. He tells you, this is what I wish to see. Now you know that there is a tumor 3 centimeters away. Clear? So when you are in a session in therapy, of course you flow, logically. The way your intuition guides you but when you're learning something, it's like driving, no? When you learn driving, you go to a driving school, one step at a time, right? 2-3 days, they'll only teach you how to do gear. Then a couple of days, they'll teach you just how to use the brake and the accelerator. And then after 7-10 days, they'll teach you the coordination. Then the flow comes. If you try to do everything on day one, no. Okay. All right. Yes. How are we?
I have a question related to where we should draw the line with the client when we think, based on the therapy plan for that specific issue that they came with, the therapy has concluded and they already feel better for it, and but they want just to have more sessions.
Recording in progress.
So,
They just want to know more about themselves and have more sessions without presenting issue anymore.
all right. So, essentially, whenever they reach a junction where the basic presenting problem has been addressed, remember therapy is addictive.
I noticed.
It is. And not just hypnotherapy, any therapy is addictive. And it's addictive because it creates a safe space, which is a very rare thing on earth these days. So, if you're a good therapist, the space that you hold with your client is something they will cherish. They can be honest, they won't be judged, they won't be labeled. So, they're going to obviously enjoy coming to you if they have the money. However, every transformative shift needs to be anchored. So, what you tell your client is, we've done good work, you're experiencing the benefit of it. Now you need to let the complete system stabilize. Drive your new car for a while before we change the tires again. And check, take your time, live. Therapy is an intervention into life, but life is not therapy. Absolutely.
For us it is, but
Correct. So it's an intervention that you make. You go for a heart surgery to fix the heart, but you don't stay in the hospital 24/7 into 365 with the fear that tomorrow I will have an intestinal issue, so let me be admitted in advance and deal with the intestinal issue. You're going to go back and live here.
That
All
means
right.
you're saying your client is coming to you from 10 years. That means it's not nice.
Okay. Are we good? Then I will just maybe wrap up a few questions here. Online? Yeah, Manjari? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Tanu, how are you?
Good, sir. Good to see you. You look really good in black. It suits you.
Jesus, but I'm
I
not
have a
wearing
couple
black.
of questions.
That's even better. I'm
You,
wearing a
you,
deep
you
blue.
look black to me from the
Okay.
screen.
Perception, life.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, I have a few questions, sir. आपने बोला कि when you go through, I'm sorry about my voice, not well. You go through the pain that you don't understand. That's when the awakening happens,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
So, how many times does this awakening happen?
It should be
Because
ideally only once. Ideally.
okay, okay, so if that phase has already been passed,
Yeah.
and of course the pain is there, but the intensity is less, does that mean that phase of awakening, which was supposed to happen, that has been passed? This is something which comes on the different subject or a different
No.
side of
So
the
the
pain.
answer to that, Tanu, is that if when the pain first came up and you dealt with it correctly and you understood what it was trying to tell you then and you followed the path, every other pain after that is a deviation from there. Because the answer lies in the
Can you
first
explain?
pain. So
Okay, can you explain what this
whatever is the
deviation
situation.
means?
So
Because
deviation means you are then using free will to take decisions that are not in sync with the plan.
if I talk about the theme of the pain are different.
No, correct. Life plan by itself should never have pain.
Okay,
Okay. So when you experience pain for the first time, it's a reminder to come on track.
got it.
When you come on track, after that, and here this talk is essentially for people who understand my curriculum. So if you came in with the curriculum back on track, if pain comes after that, that means what you needed to learn from there fully and stay on track has not been implemented.
Okay, even if the theme is different.
Even if the theme is different. Because once you're on the zone, the track is straightforward.
Okay. And the
Yeah,
second
you
thing
can
is
always get a fracture and you can, that is, we're not talking about that. We're talking of soul pain, yeah?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, no, I get it, I
yeah.
get it. The other thing, sir, you said that about hypnotherapy, about learning hypnotherapy. There are some people who pursue hypnotherapy as a profession because that's what I did. But I
Correct.
left my job of journalism and then I switched into hypnotherapy. For consistently 5, 6 years, I was thinking like, okay, this is it, this is it, this is it. But for almost 1 month, my mind is now switching to something else.
There you
As
go.
Kshitish, I think he was mentioning, right?
Absolutely. So this is,
So, but sir, this
yes.
also gives pain because one part doesn't want to let it go. That's why I said the theme of the
You,
pain has changed.
so you came to fundamentally learn something about your life plan 15 years back or 10 years back or whatever. Go back there and check what did that curriculum teach you then, understand that, and now check what catches your eye, go ahead and do it. The principles of the curriculum is what you have to live, not the curriculum itself.
Does that mean we can serve in any other way besides teaching,
150%.
like through books or anything?
Of course. That's what the whole story is about. The whole story is about being in sync with what makes you wake up happy, what makes you eat your meal happy, and what makes you sleep happy. That's it. Nothing more and nothing less. If writing a book gives you joy, freaking shit, go ahead and write a cartoon book. Okay?
Makes sense.
If I continue speaking any longer, the hotel will throw me out of my room also now. All right? So, thank you for coming. Please take these words a little seriously. I'm a joker, I understand that. I say many things because they're funny, but they make sense. This is a wake up call for my tribe, because as I said, in the days that we are going to encounter as the world goes further ahead, these will be benchmarks that will be tested. Keep your thinking hat, keep these words in your head, and stay alive and live well. Good luck and take care of yourselves. Bye bye.